Blayashala. Alright. Everybody Amadium, which means to stand. Wapanya Hakwadam, which means rise and face the east. We're starting off with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kadash, Haya, Shamka, Yahawam, Balapaka, Daba'a, Ratazah, Kahaya, Ishaba, Ratazah, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nadanla Nawa, Lakam, Gao, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawap Wap Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawap Wat Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Nawa, Banasayawan, Nabal, Hawashaya Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wahatapar, Ratla, Iwalamium, Aman. In English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakat, the power in the Hebrew. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Babakashah, Nathan Lanawa, Hakat, Hakat, La Pa'a, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakat, La Tahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakat, La Haquium, Hamathium, Hakat, Awakawa, Hatama'ala, Lagar Shan, by Hashem Yahushai, the Wada Aman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against unclean spirits, to cast them out, in the name of Yahushua. Thank you. So be it. Prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, Barak Lanawa, Wayashala, Wa'a, Bayat Saparium, Barak, Rapah, Magan, Hagan, by Hashem Yahushua, the Wada Aman. What we just said was, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushua, bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushua, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Ahaharium, Ma'ayan, Yaba'a, Isaiah, Ma'am, Yahweh, Aisha, Shemayim, Waharatazah, Al-Yatan, Lamawat, Ragalka, Al-Yanawam, Shamarka, Hana, La'a, Yanawam, Wala'a, Yayashan, Shawamar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamash, La'a, Yakayaka, Wayarak, Malayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaatka, Wabaatka, Ma'ita, Wa'ida, Walam, Aman. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al-Damayalaka, Al-Fakarash, wa Al-Tashakwat, Al-Kayahana, Al-Wayabyaka, Yahama Yawan, wa Mashanayaka, Nasha'awa, Ra'ash, Al-Hamaka, Yawayama, Sawad, wa Yatayai Tazawa, Al-Tazak Pawanyaka, Omawa, Lakawa, Manakakiram, Magoya, Wala'a, Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Aiwa, Kaya, Nawai Tazawa, Lab Yakhadwa, Al Yakabarayaf, Yakarafwa, Ahal Yadawam, Wayashama'alyam, Mawaaba, Salaki, Wahagaryam, Gabal, Waamawan, Waimalak, Palashat, I'm Yashabia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Haya, Wazarawai, Labayalawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadium, Kasayasara, Kayabia, Banakal, Kwayashwan, Nashamadwa, Bayandara, Hayawa, Daman, La Dama, Shayadama, Nadiamua, Kaira, Wakazaba, Wakazabat, Wakazalmanai, Kal Nasaya Kama, Ashar, Armawa, Nayarisha, Lanawa, Nawa, Alahayam, Alahaya, Shayatama, Kakagala, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Kaash, Debarayara, Wakalahaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Khan, Daradatma, Basaraga, Wabasawapatka, Dabahalam, Malaha, Panyaham, Kwawan, Waya Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Baawa, Adiad, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya Daiwa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahawa, Labaka, Al, Yawan, Al, Kal, Rataza, Aman. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them, as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, Salakia, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like a red, and like Zed, yea, all their princes as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, Let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flames setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So be it. Sar, which means to turn, Yeshavia, which means to be seated. We're going to be picking up where we left out from last week in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 15. Salaki, in the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. And we're going to be starting off in the Hebrew. Wahaya, la'a, tashamai, bakwa, wal, Yahweh, Alahayak, La Shamar, La Aisha, Wath, Af, Kal, Mataza, what the Dayawa, Wakakwath, Yawa, Ashar, Anyak, Matazawak, Haya, Wam, Waba, Awa, Abawa, Waba Awa, Salakia, Ila Yak, Kal, Hakwa, La, Hakwalala, Waf, Ha'ala, Waha she Waha Sheyagwak. Verse 16. Alright. Our war, Ata, Ba'ayar, Wa'ara, war, Ata, Bashada. Verse 17. Our war to knock Wamashordak, verse 18. Our war Parya, Batanak, Waparya, Adamadak, Shagar, Alapayak, Wa'aisha Dar, Wa'aisha Dar with the Wa'aisha Da Salaki. Wa'aishath Rawath. Wa'aishath Rawath. Taza Anak, verse 19. Our war, Atha, Baba'ak, Wa'ara, Wa'awara, Atha, Batazadak, verse 20. Yashalach, Yahweh, Bak, Ath, Hama Ra, Ath, Hama Wama, Wa'ath, Hama Gairath, Bakal, Mashalach, Yadak, Ashar, the Aisha, Aid, Hasha, Madak, Wa'aid, Abadak, Mahar, Mapanya, Rai, Ma'ala Yak, Ashar, Azabathaya, verse 21. Yadabak, Yahweh, Bak, Ath, Hadabar, Kalafwa, Athak, Ma'al, Hadama, Ashar, Atha, Ba, Shama, Lara Shita. All right. Now we're going back to the English. Well, not back to the English, but we're going to the English. Deuteronomy 28:15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High God, to observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So last week, when we went into this, the Most High God showed blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians how we could have prevented these curses by hearkening and listening to his word. He said he would have put us on high above all the other nations if we would have obeyed. But since we didn't obey, since we want to celebrate our birthdays and Christmas and smoke weed and get high and eat pork and sleep with whores, we're at the bottom. And if you can look into, if you're paying any attention, if you're aware of anything, you can see the conditions of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. We're in the ghettos, we're in the barrios and reservations, suffering by the hands of our oppressor and the poor leadership of the Christian church. How? Because they didn't lead us or tell us to obey God. You understand? And it benefits our oppressor that we stay in slavery. You understand? And we stay disobeying the Bible because it benefits him. He makes tons of money off our ignorance and our disobedience, and he stays on top. He gets to stay on the top, and we get to stay on the bottom and suffer. But if we come back and obey the Most High God, we would be, as a nation, we would be back on top. Not just, just can't be a few of us keeping the laws. We have to come back as a nation till Christ returns. So the Bible says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Most High God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. And that's exactly what happened because of our disobedience. The curses overcame us and overtook us, and we're in the state, and we're in the poverty, and we're in the mourning that we're in today. You understand? Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field. Verse 17. Cursed shall thou be, cursed shall thy basket and thy store. So no matter if we're in the city, no matter if we're in the field, no matter if we try to start a business, no matter if we're working, our purses are going to be empty. Our fields are going to be empty. This is a curse. That's why we're so poor. That's why we're always struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. And even if you're rich, even if you're what they consider successful and wealthy, it can disappear overnight. It can diminish overnight. Especially if you want to speak out like Kanye, you lose millions of dollars overnight. You'll be suspended for games like Kyrie because we're cursed because of our disobedience. Let me keep reading. Verse 18, cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land, the increase of thy kind and the flocks of thy sheep. Verse 19, cursed shall thou be when thou comest in, and cursed shall thou be when thou goest out. Verse 20, the Most High shall send upon thee cursing, vexation, and rebuke, and all that thou settest thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly, because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. Because of our wickedness, the Most High God is going to allow these other nations to consume us. The Most High God is going to allow us to die from COVID-19 and diseases and AIDS, and our children be molested, and our children die from gun violence because we didn't listen. We have to understand that the Most High God is our protection. We don't have any protection outside of our power. You understand? We don't have any protection outside of the Most High God. We don't have any protection outside of our culture and brotherhood and these laws, statutes, and commandments. We don't have any protection. If we're not pleasing the Most High God, we're not being protected. We can't say that we love the Most High God and celebrate our birthday. We can't say that we love Jesus and celebrate Christmas. We can't say that I'm Christian and the laws are done away with. We can't afford to keep doing that because the Most High God is not going to protect us. You understand? Verse 21. The Most High shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. Wherever we go, man, pestilence is going to follow us. Diseases, you understand? Pestilence. And that's it for that. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 22. Yakaka, Yahweh, Bashaka, Path, Wabakwa, Dekath, Wabadal Quath, Wabakar, Wabakarab, Shadapawan, Wabayar Kwawan, Waradapawak, Wardapawak, Id, Abadak. Verse 23. Wahayawa, Shemayak, Ashar, Al, Ra'ashak, Nakashak, Waharataza, Ashar, Thaka, Dayak, Barazal. 24. Yathan, Yahweh, Af, Matar, Aratazak, Aratazak, Abak, Wa'ai Par, Man, Hasha, Mayam, Yarad, Aoyak, Id, Hasha, Madak. All right. 25. Yathanak, Yahweh, Nagap, Lapanya, Ayabayak, Badarak, Akkad, the Taza'ah, Layawa, Wabashabai, Darayakam, Thanawam, Lapanyawa, Wahayayath, Lazaiwa, Lakal, Mamalakwath, Harataza. Verse 26. Yahayatha, Nabalatak, Lama'a, Kal, Lakal, Ayawap, Hashamayam, Wala Bahamath, Harataza, Wa'ayan, Maka Rayad. Verse 27. Yakaka, Yahweh, Basha Kayan, Matarazayam, Wama I Palyum, Waba Garad, Waba Karam, Ashar, La'a, Dawakal, Lahara Pa'a, verse 28. Yakaka, 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 Yahweh, Basha, Gaiwan, Waba'ai, Rawan, Wabatha, Awan, Labak, Labab. All right, Labab. Deuteronomy 28 and 22 in the English. The Most High shall smite thee with the consumption, and with the fever, and with the inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. Verse 23. And thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thee shall be iron. Verse 24. The Most High shall make rain of thy land powder and dust. From heaven it shall come down upon thee, until thou be destroyed. Verse 25. And the Most High shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them, and flee 7 ways before them, and thou shalt be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. Verse 26. And thy carcass shall be meat unto all fowls of the air, and unto the beasts of the earth, and no man shall fray them away. Verse 27. And the Most High will smite thee with the bach of Egypt, and with the emerods, and with the scab, and with the itch, whereof thou canst not be healed. Verse 28. The Most High shall smite thee with madness, and blindness, and astonishment of heart. You understand? These are all these curses that are happening today. Our living conditions are rough. We're scared. We're afraid of our oppressor. You get pulled over by the so-called white man at a traffic stop. You're afraid of your life. You're afraid of the air that's trying to kill you. All the diseases, all the STDs and diseases, and the high blood pressure and the AIDS that we catch from the foods that we eat, from our alternative lifestyles, and from chasing tail and sleeping with every whore and putting away your husband and putting away your ribs. All these things come from our disobedience. So it's just not like God is just say, okay, just go curse them. All the curses come through the way of our lifestyles and the way of the choices that we make, and all the choices we make is disobeying God. So it's just not like he said, okay, I'm gonna sit this here. We didn't want the Lord's protection. We would have the Lord's protection if we would obey, like it said in Deuteronomy 28 and 1. You understand? Deuteronomy 28 and verse 29, going back into the Hebrew. All right, let me get there. Here we go. Wahayayath, Mama Shasha, Bataza Harayom, Kahashar, Yamashasha, Yamashash, Ha'ai War, Ba'a Pala, Wala'a, Datazala Yach, Dara Kayak, Wahayayath, Ak, Aishawach, Wagaza Wall, Call, Hayamayom, Wa'ayan, Mawa Shayai, Mawa Shayai, Mawa Shayai, verse 30. Asha, the Arash, Yash, Akar, Yashagalna, Bayath, Dabana, Wala'a, Dashab, Bawa, Karam, Data'ai, Wala'a, Dakalal Noah. Verse 31. Let me check online real quick. Verse Verse 31. Shayarak tabawak la'aya nayak wala'a da'akal mama nawa kama rak gaza wal malapanyak wala'a yasha wab lak taza anak not the waf la'ayab yak wa'ayan lak mawa yai. Verse 32. Banayak wabana dayak not the nayom la'aim akar wa'ain nayak ra'a waf wakala waf alayahum kal hayawam wa'ayan la'al yadak. Verse 33. Parya adamadak wakal yaga yaik ya akal aim ashar la'a yada aith wahayayaf rak aisha wak wataza kal hayama yum. Verse 34. Wahayayaf masha guy mama ra'ah aya nayak ashar dara'ah. Verse 35. Yakaka Yahweh Bashaka Yan Rai Al Habarakayam Wa'al Hashakwa Yom Ashar La'a Dawakal Lahara Pa'a Makap Ragalak Wa'aid Kodak. Yeah. Alright. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 29, back in the English. And thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness, and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways, and thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee. Verse 30. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. You understand? That you see that going on tons and tons and tons of different times today. They got whole rap songs and whole albums and R&B music talking about a man sleeping with another man's wife. You understand? Also coming into being oppressed, going into slaveries, going, to different parts of the world where we were being oppressed. Our oppressor would take our women and sleep with them and rape them as well. So, and that all comes because we don't have any protection with the Most High God. You understand? Verse 30, thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build a house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and thou shalt not gather the grapes thereof. Verse 31, thine ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof. Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee. Thy sheep shall be given unto thine enemies, and thou shalt have none to rescue them. Verse 32, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. Just like those poor Mexican babies, Hispanic babies on the border of Mexico in the ICE detention centers, sleeping in dog kennels, drinking out of toilet bowls, stripped away from their families. Your children are going to be given to another nation, in custody with another nation because of our disobedience. You understand? Okay, and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand. Verse 33, the fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always. Always. Verse 34, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine enemies which thou shalt see. Verse 35, the Most High shall smite thee in the knees and in the legs with a sore botch that cannot be healed from the sole of thy foot unto the top of thy head. Ooh-wee. The Most High is going to allow terrible things to happen to the children of Israel for disobedience, just like he's allowing us to be consumed in the curses now because of our disobedience. You understand? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. In the Hebrew, going back to the Hebrew. Yawalak, Yahweh, Athak, Wa'ath, Malakak, Ashar, Thakwoyom, Alayak, Al, Goya, Ashar, La'a, Yada, Aith, Atha, Bathyak, Wa'ai Badath, Sham, Alahayom, Akarayom, Aitazah, Wa'aban, verse 37. Wahayayath, Lashama, Lamashal, Walashan Yana, Bakal, Ha'ai Mayam, Ashar, Yana Hagak, Yahweh, Shema, verse 38. Zarai, Rab, Dawataze Ya'a, Hashada, Wama, Ait, Da'a, Sap, Kaya, Yakasa, Lanwa, Rabah. Verse 39. Kara Mayam, the Tai, Wa'ai Badath, Wayayan, La'a, Dasha Da, Wala'a, Da'agar, Kaya, Da'akal Nawa, Hata Aith. Verse 40. Zaya Dayom, Yahayawa, Lak, Bakal, Gabo Walak, Washaman, La'a, Dasawak, Kaya, Yashal, Zayadak. Verse 41. All right. By Banyam, Wabana Wath, Dawa Layad, Wala'a, Yahayawa, Lak, Kaya, Yala Kawa, Yalakwa, Basha, Baya, Bashabia. Verse 42. Kal, Aitazak, Waparya, Adamathak, Yayarash, Hatazalal. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 36. The Most High shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone. You understand? Now currently we have another king. Who's the king now? Joe Biden. Joe Biden is a king from another nation. He's the president of the United States. We're not Americans. We're not united in anything with our oppressor. We were brought here by force, not choice. So we were brought here by another nation, which we are serving now. We were serving other kings, and we go out and vote for these other kings every election poll, thinking something's going to change in the so-called Black, Latino, or Native Indian community. And it is not. Nothing has changed. We are still oppressed. We are still in slavery. We are still dying by the police officers. We are still suffering racism and civil rights, and everything that we fought so hard for is still going on today, and it's worse. You understand? So another king that we choose and put over us and serve other nations that our forefathers didn't know. Our forefathers didn't know the Republican Party or the Democratic Party or the what's the other one? It's another party, I don't know. But we didn't know, our forefathers didn't know any of these nations, didn't know any of these people, didn't know about America. You understand? And we're serving other nations. You understand? And other religions, wood and stone. You understand? That's talking about Christianity. Our forefathers wasn't Christian. That stone is talking about Islam. That cobblestone that they circle around and kiss and catch herpes. Those are different ideologies in different nations that, you know, our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, didn't worship. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob wasn't a Christian. Christ wasn't a Christian. None of our forefathers was a Christian or Muslims like Malcolm X. They didn't follow the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. You understand? We were given the laws, statutes, and commandments, and as you can see, because of our disobedience, we are going through curses. We are Christians because we're cursed. We are Islam and the Nation of Islam and Muslims because we're cursed. Those are other gods. Those are other nations that were strange to us, and we follow willingly now because we're so destroyed, because we don't know who we are, and because of the Christian church is the synagogue of Satan, and because our oppressor is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And we also have to keep in mind because of our disobedience. That's why we're Christian today. That's why we are Islam today. You understand? Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Most High shall lead thee. Verse 38. Thou shalt carry much seed out into the field, and shalt gather but little in, for the locust shall consume it. Verse 39. Thou shalt plant vineyards, and dress them, but shall neither drink of the wine, nor gather the grapes, for the worms shall eat them. Verse 40. Thou shalt have olive trees throughout all thy coast, but thou shalt not anoint thyself with the oil, for thine olive has cast his fruit. Verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All thy trees and fruit of thy land shall be locusts consumed. You understand? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43. Going back to the Hebrew. Hagar, Ashar, Bakwa, Rabak, Ya'il, Al-Yak, Ma'ila, Wa'atha, Tharad, Mata. Verse 44. Hawa'ah, Yalawak, Wa'atha, La'a, Nawa, Hawa'ah, Yaha, Yahya, Lara'ash, Wa'atha, Tahaya, Lazanab. Verse 45. Waba Awa, Al Yak, Kal, Hakwa, Lawath, Hala, Ha'ala, Wara da Hawak, Wahashayag, Wak, Aid, Hashamadak, Kayala, Shama Aith, Bakwawal, Yahweh, Allah Hayak, La Shamar, Matazawath, Yawa, Wakwa, Kwath, Yawa, Ashar, Tazawak, verse 46. All right, come on, here we go. Wahayawa. Bak, La'awath, Walama, Wapath, Wabazar, Ike, Aid, Iwalam, verse 47. The Kath, Ashar, La'a, Ibadath, Ath, Yahweh, Allahayak, Basha, Mak, Wabatawab, Wababa, Salakia, Labab, Marab, Kal, 48. Wa'ai Badath, Ath, Ayabayak, Ashar, Yashala Kanawa, Yahweh, Bak, Bar-Aib, Wabatazamah, Waba'ai Yarom, Wabakasar, Kal, Wanathan, Al, Barazal, Al, Taza Arak, Aid, Hashama, Yadwa, Adak, verse 49. Am I going to 40? Yeah, 49. What just happened? Hold on, give me 1 second. All right, here we go. 49. Yasha, Yahweh, Ilayak, Gawaya, Mara Kawak, Makotaza, Harataza, Kashar, Yada'a, Hanashar, Goya, Ashar, La'a, Dasha, Mai, Lashanawa. All right, back in English. Deuteronomy 28 and 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. He shall lend to thee, and thou shalt not lend to him. He shall be the head, and thou shalt be the tail, which goes back into us being at the bottom, us not being above all the nations because of our disobedience. Our oppressor lends to us. We don't live to the oppressor. We don't lend to the oppressor. They have money. You understand? They have a Federal Reserve. They have banks. They have gold. They have tons of wealth. And they loan us payday loans on Friday, and we have to pay back 1,000%. You borrow $100, you're going to pay back $500. You understand? You're going to pay back $1,000 from borrowing $500. For borrowing $100 at a payday loan. You go get when you go get your mortgage for your houses, your oppressor is the one lending to you. We're not lending to them. You understand? They have currency with their forefathers' faces on it that we spend, that we hold up stacks of money in our rap videos. They're lending to us. And when you go sign some 360 deal, that label owns you. You go sign a 360 deal and you get $1 million, what is it called? You get $1 million up front in advance. That's a loan. They're lending to you because you're a slave. We are slaves here in this nation. You understand? Verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenedst not unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. That's why we're going through this. As I keep repeating, and as the Bible keeps repeating, we are in these conditions because of our disobedience. Because we hearkened not unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, which he commanded blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians. He commanded us to keep these laws. You understand? Verse 46. And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Most High thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for abundance of all things. We are supposed to be glad, joyful, and happy to have the protection of the Most High God. But instead, we are happy and glad to celebrate Christmas, which is right around the corner. Everybody's happy to celebrate that. But as a nation, we're not happy to celebrate the Feast of Hanukkah. We're not happy to not eat pork. We're not happy to not smoke weed. Those are the things that we are happy to do. Those are the things that we look forward to do, when we should be happy about keeping our culture, because our culture is such a beautiful culture. Our culture was given to us by the Most High God himself. He chose Adam and gave the breath of life to Adam and gave Adam a culture. And here we are throwing our culture away to get high, to smoke weed, to smoke cigarettes, to smoke crack, or whatever the hell else that we smoke as a nation. He gave the breath of life to Adam so he could live. We're supposed to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments so we can live. So these other nations can be like, man, who is this wise nation? Who are these cats? Who are these people? But these other nations don't look at us like that, because we're on the very low. We're at the very bottom. We're the tail and not the head. All because of our disobedience. All because we have leaderships that sold us out. You understand? Verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Most High shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck, until he have destroyed thee. Verse 49. The Most High shall bring a nation against thee from afar, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, as swift as an eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Our oppressor, the so-called white man, he always has been representing himself as the eagle, a nation of warriors, a nation of whose tongue we didn't understand. When Columbus sailed over here in the Americas and he landed, and the natives that were here were speaking Hebrew, he was speaking, what was he speaking? Spanish? He was speaking another tongue. I'm not for sure on what language he was speaking, but he didn't speak the tongue. When they invaded, when those Romans invaded Jerusalem in 70 AD and we fled into Africa, we didn't speak the same tongue as the Hamites, nor did we speak the same tongue as the oppressor that put us on the slave ships. You understand? So that's when the Bible is talking about another nation is going to come and gather us up, and we're going to serve them, who a nation with another tongue, a nation from afar. You understand? Who is swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. You understand? They move swiftly on God's chosen people and gather them up and put them into slavery. You understand? Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 50. Going back into the Hebrew. Goya, eyes, panayam, ashar la'a, yasha'a, panyam, lazakwan, wana ira, la'a, yakan. Verse 51. Wa'akal, parya baha matak wa parya adamadak aid hasha madak ashor la'a yasha yar lak dagan daya war wash wayataza har shagar ala payak wa I shaf wa I shat the wrath taza anak aid ha ba yadwa atak. Verse 52. Waha taza ra la bakal sha'ai yak aid radath hamath yak hagaba hawath wahabataza rawath ashar atha bataka bahan bakal aratazayat aratazak wahataza war lak Salakia. Yeah, wahataza ra wahataza ra lak bakal sha'ai rayak bakal ratazayak ashar Nathan Yahweh Allahayak lak. Verse 53. Wa'akalath paraya batanak bashar banayak wabana dayak ashar Nathan lak Yahweh Allahayak bamataza war wabama taza wak ashar yataza yak lak ayabak. Verse 54. Ha'ayash harak bak waha'ai nag ma'ad salakia dara I ya'ai ayanawa ba ka yawa ba'akyawa salakia waba shath kaya kwawa waba ya dar banyawa ashar yawa the yar yawa the yar. Verse 55. Why does it keep doing that? All right, verse 55. One second. All right, here we go. Matath la'akad maham mabashar banyawa ashar ya'akal maba yal hasha yar lawa kal bamataza war waba mataza wak ashar yataza yak lak aya bak bakal sha'irayak. Verse 56. Haraka bak waha'ain ga ashar la'a nasata kap ragal hataza ga al harataza mahata I nag wama rak dara'ai ayana ba'a yash kakwaya Kwa, wababa na, wababa tha. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 57. Oh, Salakia. Verse 50, going back into the English. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young. 51. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee. Verse 52. And he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thou trudest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates throughout all thy land, which the Most High thy power have given thee. Verse 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thy own body, and the flesh, Salakia, the flesh of thy sons and of thy daughters, which the Most High thy power have given thee, in the siege and in the straitness wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. Verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate is eye, Salakia, and is very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. That's why we have, like the scriptures just say. So the scripture just say, the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother. And that's what's going on today. And that's why everybody's always talking about black on black crime. And that's why Salakia, that's why we have an evil eye towards each other, because of our conditions. The conditions that we're in lead us to hate each other, and because of our oppression, and because of Christianity, because we wasn't taught brotherhood. This is you got to think we're leaving away from the laws of the Most High God. We're starting to enter all these different captivities. We're starting to follow different ideologies. We're starting to realize that we don't have any protection no matter where we go. So now, without being taught brotherhood, what are we going to do? A man's going to leave his wife. He's going to leave his children. A woman is going to leave her husband. The man is going to be put on child support, and we're going to have an evil eye. When at one point in time, we used to be tender and loving, and we cared about each other. You understand? We cared about each other at one point in time as a nation, not individuals. You understand? Not in a fake Israelite group where you don't want to go into a camp where there's only one body of Christ, and that's an Isupk. The Lord didn't make separate camps. The Lord didn't make separate bodies. There is one baptism, one body, one spirit, one. So you want to be an individual because you hate your brother. You leave the truth because you hate the truth. You hate the Most High God. You hate brotherhood. You can't suffer with each other because we're so focused on what makes us feel good as individuals. When Christ, our King, came and suffered for a nation of people who wasn't even worthy. True brotherhood. He didn't have an evil eye towards the children of Israel. He didn't have an evil eye because he didn't like him or he didn't like her specifically. He came and died for the entire nation. And you better have brotherhood if you want to, please the Most High God. You better have brotherhood if you want to build this nation. You better have brotherhood if you love your children, if you love your house, your husband, if you love your wife. It's a must we have brotherhood. You understand? So we won't have evil eyes towards each other. So we won't kill each other. So you won't beat your wife. So you won't put your husband on child support. You understand? All right. Where was I? Okay, 55. So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he have nothing left him in siege. Oh, Salakia, I already read that. Salakia. All right, so that's it on that. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 57 back in the Hebrew. Wabashah Yatha Hayawa Tazatha Maba Yan Ragala Regal Ya Wababa Naya Ashar Dalad Kaya the Aklom Bakasar Kal Basadar Bamataza War Waba Mataza Wak Ashar Yataza Yak Lak Aya Bak Bashai Rayak. Alright. Verse 58. La Dasha Mar La Aisha Waf Af Kal Dabar Ya Hata War Haza Af Salakia Haza Af, yeah, Haka Hakaf Wa Bayam Basapar Hazaha Layara Af Hasham Hana Kabad Wahana wa Ra'a Hazaha Af Yahweh Alahayak. Verse 59. Wahab Pala Yahweh Af Makadak Wa Af Makawaf Zara Ike Makawaf Gadalo Waf Wana Manawaf Hakalyo Hakalyom Ra'ayom Wana Nayom. Verse 60. Stop at 63. Yahaya Wahashayab Bak Af Kal Marawa Matazarayom Ashar Yagoraf Mapanya home Wadaba Kwawa Bak. Verse 61. This thing. Alright. Gam Call Ya Wakal Maka Ashar La'a Batho Wab Basapar Hatha War Hazaaf Ya'alam Yahweh Al-Yak Aid Hasha Madak. Verse 62. Wanasha Rathom Bamathia Ma'ait Dakath Ashar Hayayathom Kaka Wakabia Hashama Yom Larab Kayala A Shama Aith Bakwal Yahweh Alahayak. Yahweh Kashar Shasha Yahweh Al Yakum Lahayat Yab Atakum Walahara Rabab Wath Atakum Khan Yasha Yahweh Ala Yakum Lahaya Bayad Atakum Walahash Shamyad Atakum Wanasakathum Ma'al Ha'adah, Ha'adama, Ashar, Atha, Ba'a, Shema, Lara, Shata. Alright. Back into English. Deuteronomy 28 and 57. And toward her young one that cometh out of her between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear, for she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness wherein with thy enemy shall distress thee in all thy gates. So it came upon a time in history when the children of Israel were doing so bad. You can read different scriptures in the Bible where women were, starving so much that they ate their children. And this was a curse putting on blacks and Hispanics through the Lord because of our disobedience. Another curse. Imagine starving, no food, nowhere you're going to find anything, and you have to come to the decision that you might have to eat your child. Can you think how distressed and, in bad shape we would have to be as a nation? You see your baby, and, you're looking at your baby like, my God, like it's a T-bone steak. Do you know how destroyed we would have to be? And how much the Lord has removed himself from protecting the nation of Israel because of our disobedience? If we don't want to go through this again, we better come back to the Lord. Because, it's nothing new under the sun. Things may happen again. Hell, the grocery stores might shut down. And who are we going to depend on for our protection? Our oppressor? We're going to depend on Joe Biden? We better start coming back to the Lord, repenting and gathering together as a nation. Otherwise, we might be put in this position where a sister might have to debate if she wants to eat her child in order for her to survive. You understand? Verse 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, the Most High, thy power. Verse 59, then the Most High will make thy plagues wonderful, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sickness, and of long continuance. Verse 60, moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Verse 61, also every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Most High bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. Verse 62, and ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heavens for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Most High thy power. Verse 63, and it shall come to pass that as the Most High rejoice over you to do you good and multiply you, so the Most High will rejoice over you to destroy you and to bring you to naught. And ye shall be plucked from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. Because the Most High is going to rejoice in us and in all these plagues, and in everything that he just said, the Bible just said. He's going to rejoice over us not multiplying and not being successful and being destroyed, because when we go out and celebrate Christmas and when we go out and celebrate our birthdays, we're rejoicing on turning our backs on the Lord. So just like any good father, he's going to punish or allow his children to be punished for disobedience. If we're going to be a rebellious, stiff-necked nation who's not going to obey our power, our Father who gave us life, who chose us to be special, he's going to rejoice when we go out and get shot by the police. You understand? He's going to rejoice when we catch AIDS. He's going to rejoice when we catch cancer and lung cancer, because we're rejoicing when we go celebrate Christmas. We're rejoicing when we celebrate our birthday. We're rejoicing when we fire up that blunt. We're rejoicing in wickedness. You understand? And the Most High God knows if he rejoiced in our downfall, for lack of a better word, if he rejoices in our plagues and our curses, he's going to rejoice in that, because he knows that's the only thing that's going to catch our attention to where we understand that we need to get back on the right track. We need to repent if we're tired of living this lifestyle that is destroying us. You understand? And with that, I mod him. Just me up here. La Yashala. Alright. Imadium, which means to stand. Wapan Yahakwadam, which means turn and face the east. Closing out with the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malapaka, Taba'a, Ratazak, Hayah, Isha, Ba Ratazak, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Ladan Lanawa, Lakam, Cow, Yawam, Wasalak Lanawa, Kawa Wap Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kawa Wat Yanawa, Wala'a, Tabaya Nawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Habashaya Nawa, Mayan Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wahala, Wahatapara, Lawalamium Aman. In English, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Hakak, the power in the Hebrew, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushai, Baba Kashah, Nathan Lanawa, Hakak, Hakak, La Pa'a, Kal Makala, Wakal Marawa, Hakak, La Tahar, Hamatazarayam, Hakak, La Hakwayam, Hamathiam, Hakak, Awakawa, Hatama'ala, Lagar Shan, by Shem Yahushai, the Wada Aman. In English, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please give us the power to heal all manner of sickness and all manner of disease, the power to cleanse the lepers, the power to raise the dead, the power against the unclean spirits, to cast them out. In the name of Yahushai, thank you. So be it. Prayer to bless Israel. Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, Barak Lanawa, Wayasha'ala, Waha, Bayat Saparium, Barak, Rapah, Magan, Hagan, by Hashem Yahushai, the Wada Aman. What we just said was, Yahweh, in the name of Yahushai, please bless us and Israel and the school. Bless, heal, shield, protect our loved ones. In the name of Yahushai, thank you. So be it. Psalms 121 in the Hebrew. Asha'a, Ayanya, Ahahariam, Ayan, Baya, Salaki, Yabaya, Isaiah, Ma'aim, Yahweh, Isha, Shemayim, Waharataza, Al Yatan, Lamawat, Regalka, Al Yanawam, Shamarka, Hanala, Ayanawam, Wala Ayashan, Shawamar, Yashala, Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al Yad, Yamnika, Yawamam, Hashamash, La Yakayaka, Wayarak, Balayala, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Makal Rai, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Tazaatka, Wabaaka, Maita, Wa'aid, Awalam, Aman. In English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills, from whence cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh, which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day, nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out and thy coming in, from this time forth and even forevermore. So be it. Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayim, Al Damayan Laka, Al Bakarash, Wa Al Bashakwat, Al Kayahana, Al Yabika, Yahama Yawan, Wa Mashanayaka, Nasha'al, Ra'ash, Al Imaka, Yarwayamwa, Sawad, Wa Yatayai Tazawa, Al Tazat Pawanyaka, Omarwa, Lakawa, Wanakakira, Magoya, Wala'ai Yazakar, Sham Yashala, Aiwa, Kaya, Nawai Tazawa, La Yakhadwa, Ayaka, Baria, Yakarafwa, Ahaya, Adawam, Wayashamao, Mawaba, Wahagoryam, Gabal, Waimawan, Waimalak, Palashat, I'm Yashabia, Tamawar, Salakia, Tazawar, Gamashawar, Nalawa, Imam, Haya, Wazarawai, Labanya Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Lahom, Kamadium, Kasayasara, Kayabium, Banakal, Koyashwan, Shamadwa, Bayanda Ara, Hayawa, Daman, La Dama, Shayatawa, Nadiyabawa, Kaira, because of Bak, because of Zalmanai, Kau Nasaya Kamwa, Ashar, or Mawa, Nayarashal, and Nawa, Nawaf. Alahayom, Alahaya, Shayatama, Kagagala, Kakwash, Lapanya Raka, Kaash, Tabaraya Yara, Wakalahaba, Dalahat, Haryam, Khan, Deradapma, Basaaraka, Wabasawapaka, Tabahalam, Malaa, Panyahom, Kwawan, Waya Bakwashwa, Shamka, Yahawa, Yabashwa, Waya Baawa, Aya Idi, Waya Kaparwa, Waya Abadwa, Waya da Iowa, Kaya, Ata, Shamka, Yahawa, Labadka, Ao, Yawan, Ao, Kal, Ha, Rataza, Aman. In the English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gabal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Asa also joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah, do unto them as unto the Midianites, as to Sisera, as to Jabin, at the brook of Kasan, which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb, and like Zeb, yea, all the princes as Zabah, and as Amunah, who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. O my power, make them like a wheel, as the stubble before the wind, as the fire burneth the wood, and as the flames setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them with thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storm. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name. O Yahweh, let them be confounded and troubled forever. Yea, let them be put to shame and perish, that men may know that thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth. So be it. Sar, which means to turn. Yeshabi, which means to be seated. Salakia, sisters may be seated. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the brothers. Men of Israel, Mamajim Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahshah Barakathon, Yajmatah, Sar, turn to the sisters. Sisters, Imadium. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Mamajim Shabbat, Imadium, Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatah Ba'ashem Yahshah, Yajmatah. Class dismissed.